Some big new concerns these days about college graduates and the dire jobs market that awaits them. For example, in 2011, more than half of graduates with bachelor's degrees under the age of 25 were either completely jobless or were working only part-time. Wow, look at that number, parents, as you get ready to pay those college tuition bills. Melissa Francis is here. She is the host of the brand new FBN show, Money with Melissa Francis. So congratulations about that. Good to have you here. And Gretchen Hamel is the former spokeswoman to the House Republican Conference. She's also the executive director of Public Notice. Hi, Gretchen. How are you doing? So these numbers are pretty dire, and as you dig into them, they get worse. They seem to have improved a tiny bit over the last year. But Melissa, what's your take on this sort of recession hangover that we're hearing about?
Oh, it's really true, and you especially see it among kids that are just getting out of college and looking for work. But the disconnect is when you talk to somebody like Carl Camden, who is the CEO of Kelly Services, which of course places people in jobs, he says that there's 2.5 to 3 million jobs in the U.S. right now that are open, that they can't find candidates for. So how do you match up these people? Well, the problem is a lot of these kids that we're seeing coming out of school have liberal arts degrees. I mean, they went and they studied journalism like us, or, you know, they studied, liberal arts of some type. They don't have
English or all the good things that we like to study in college.
Yeah, and they're not math and science. And he says that, you know, when people come out and they're looking for electricians, computer engineers, all the way up to PhD scientists, that there are 3 job openings for every candidate that's looking for a job.
That's a scary scenario, because the suggestion is that we're producing college graduates who are not skilled, and then this recession hangover effect that we're mentioning is that, you know, the 2010 classes out, the 2011 class, now the 2012 class, and they're kind of bumping up against each other like bumper cars, all fighting for the same jobs.
They're all fighting for the same jobs. And to speak to what Melissa was speaking about, the underemployment rate is at 12.1% for those who are 18 to 29. If you start looking at the rates for those who are under 25, it's 8.5% unemployment. But those with college graduate degrees that are over age 25, it goes to 3.9%. Now that is up from the 1.8% since before the recession. So what we have here is those who are really suffering from the recession are in their early 20s. They're just graduating, and you have to feel sorry for them. They went to school with these big hopes and dreams of what they want to become, and now they're having to settle for jobs that they just are, too good to do.
Ticket to still pay for. We have a full screen that shows how much money they owe, and some people have equated this to a snowballing problem that could even be like the housing market crisis. Graduating with student loans, class of 2010 up 66%. An average tab of 25,000 plus, and that's up from 5 previous years. So they've got no job, and they've got major student loans to pay off. But, you know, I'm fascinated, Melissa, this is the thing. There are jobs out there, as you were saying, and there's been a lot of discussion about this with the immigration question as well, that, you know, people who are skilled for these jobs, Steve Jobs talked about this. You know, if we bring in people who are highly technically skilled, we ought to find a way for them to stay here.
Right, this is part of the H-1B visa question. And they say a lot of people come into this country and they go to school and they get their PhDs from Stanford and elsewhere, and they learn all these skills for jobs that we need, and then we send them overseas, and we still don't have people to fill these jobs. I mean, I have 2 sons of my own. I encourage them. They love math and science. Great, do it. They love computers. You know, great. Focus on that. Dig in. I mean, I think as a parent, what you can really do is encourage your children to, number 1, you know, pursue something practical. Math and sciences, computers, engineering, these things that we don't have.
Are you telling me that my political science degree is not really that marketable
My degree's in economics. I don't know. I think we're lucky we have TV jobs.
I'm a big fan of liberal arts colleges. I think they do prepare kids for, you know, a wide variety of skills. Communication is one of them, we hope. But you're right. Boy, the math and science is where it's where it's at.
It's where it's at. But if you go back to the student loan point that you were making about the debt that is out there, this is where it's going to affect all Americans. If this continues, the amount of debt continues, and they cannot pay for it, and they cannot find unemployment, this will end up being a burden to the taxpayers, and taxpayers will end up paying for these.
And they can't pay for an apartment and a house, all of that. So thanks, ladies, for that sunny. You guys are dressed in a sunny way, so that was positive. But otherwise, it was a big downer. Other than graduate with a math and science degree, I'll send you off with that thought.
Well done, ladies. All right.